In the vast and intricate tapestry of the natural world, there exists a kingdom often overlooked, a realm of miniature beings that, despite their size, possess some of the most formidable defenses known to science. Today we're counting down the 10 most poisonous insects that could kill you with just one bite, or sting, or even a simple touch. These creatures, sculpted by millennia of evolution, have developed complex chemical arsenals that serve as both a shield against predators and a weapon to subdue their prey. Their existence is a stark reminder that danger does not always come in large packages. Sometimes, the most potent threats are those that can land unnoticed on your arm. We will journey across continents, from the dense rainforests of South America to the arid grasslands of Africa and the bustling urban landscapes of Asia, to uncover these remarkable animals. For each one, a full explanation will be given, delving into the science behind their venom, the mechanisms by which they deliver their deadly payloads, and the devastating effects they can have on the human body. We will explore not only the immediate, agonizing pain but also the slower, more insidious diseases they can transmit, which have shaped human history and continue to pose a significant threat to millions. This exploration is not intended to incite fear, but rather to foster a deep respect for the complexity and power of nature. Understanding these creatures is the first step towards coexisting with them safely. So, prepare yourselves as we peer into the microscopic yet monumental world of these deadly invertebrates. We shall uncover the secrets of their survival and the reasons why, for our own safety, we must learn to recognize them and, above all, to give them the space they command. It is a world of silent assassins and potent predators, and our tour begins now. Our journey begins deep within the humid, verdant rainforests of Central and South America, home to an insect whose sting is said to induce pain so excruciating that it is likened to being shot. This is the bullet ant, Paraponera clavata. It is a formidable creature growing up to an inch in length with a powerful, menacing appearance that serves as a clear warning to all who might cross its path. Its reputation is not one of folklore but is cemented in the chilling reality of its venom. The pain is not a fleeting sensation, it is a deep, throbbing, all-consuming agony that radiates from the sting site, pulsing in waves for up to 24 hours. Victims have described it as a fire burning deep within their flesh, a relentless torment that leaves them trembling and incapacitated. This extraordinary level of pain is caused by a potent neurotoxin called ponerotoxin. This peptide targets the voltage-gated sodium ion channels in the nervous system, forcing them open and causing neurons to fire uncontrollably, flooding the brain with pain signals. While a single sting from a bullet ant is rarely fatal to a healthy adult human, the experience is profoundly traumatic. However, the true danger lies in the potential for anaphylactic shock, a severe allergic reaction that can cause the airways to swell shut, leading to asphyxiation. For individuals with a sensitivity to insect venom, even one sting can trigger this life-threatening cascade of events, turning an encounter with this ant into a desperate race against time. The sheer intensity of the sting is so legendary that it has been incorporated into the warrior initiation rites of the Satere-Mao people of Brazil. Young men must endure being stung multiple times by weaving the ants into gloves and wearing them for 10 minutes. They must repeat this harrowing ritual 20 times to prove their manhood. This cultural practice underscores the profound respect and understanding these indigenous communities have for the ant's power, a power that demands our utmost caution. Observing the bullet ant in its natural habitat, one sees a creature perfectly adapted to its environment. It forages on the forest floor and in the canopy, a solitary hunter moving with deliberate confidence. Its formidable sting is primarily a defensive mechanism, a way to protect its colony from predators like birds or anteaters. The ant itself is not aggressive, but if it feels threatened, perhaps by a hand carelessly placed on a tree trunk, it will not hesitate to defend itself with its signature bullet-like weapon. Therefore, when venturing into these lush, tropical realms, one must be ever vigilant. The bullet ant is a testament to the fact that evolution can concentrate immense power into the smallest of vessels. It is a living, breathing symbol of pure, unadulterated pain, and a creature that commands respect through the sheer force of its venom. Its presence is a constant reminder to watch where you step and where you place your hands in the wild. We travel now to the temperate and tropical forests of East Asia, to meet a creature that inspires primal fear. It is the world's largest hornet, the Asian giant hornet, Vespa mandarinia. Often dubbed the murder hornet, This insect is an apex predator in its world. Reaching over 2 inches in length with a wingspan of 3 inches, its size alone is intimidating. The sound of its powerful wings beating the air has been compared to the rotor wash of a small helicopter, a sound that heralds the arrival of a truly formidable adversary. The hornet's venom is a complex cocktail of potent toxins, designed not just to cause pain but to systematically break down tissue. It contains a cytolytic peptide that destroys cells and a neurotoxin, mandatoxin, that can be lethal in sufficient quantities. A single sting is intensely painful, described as having a hot metal nail driven into one's skin. But the true danger of the Asian giant hornet lies not in a single attack, but in its capacity for a sustained group assault. When a hornet feels its nest is threatened, it releases an attack pheromone, a chemical signal that summons its hive mates to join the fray. A swarm of these giants can sting a victim repeatedly, injecting a massive dose of venom. This can lead to multiple organ failure, particularly of the kidneys, as the body struggles to process the sheer volume of toxins. In Japan alone, these hornets are responsible for an estimated 30 to 50 human deaths each year, a grim statistic that underscores their lethal potential. Furthermore, for those with allergies to bee or wasp stings, even a single encounter can be fatal. The venom can trigger anaphylactic shock, a rapid and severe allergic reaction. The throat swells, breathing becomes impossible, and blood pressure plummets. Without immediate medical intervention, such as an injection of epinephrine, death can occur within minutes. This makes the Asian giant hornet a particular menace for farmers and forestry workers who are more likely to disturb a nest inadvertently. These hornets are not just a threat to humans, they are devastating predators of other insects, most notably honeybees. A small scout party of hornets can locate a honeybee hive and mark it with pheromones. They then return with reinforcements, a squadron of up to 50 hornets, and begin a systematic slaughter. In a matter of hours, they can decapitate and dismember tens of thousands of bees, carrying off the protein-rich larvae to feed their own young. It is a brutal, efficient massacre that can wipe out entire colonies. The sight of an Asian giant hornet is one that should be met with immediate and cautious retreat. They are not inherently aggressive towards humans when foraging alone, but any perceived threat to their colony will be met with overwhelming and ferocious force. Their size, power, and potent venom make them one of the most dangerous insects on the planet, a true flying executioner whose territory must be respected and whose nests must be avoided at all costs. Our investigation now takes us to the sun-drenched savannas and dense woodlands of mid-continental Africa. Here we find an insect that does not kill with a single venomous sting, but with a microscopic passenger it carries within. This is the tsetse fly, a name that has become synonymous with a slow, creeping, and ultimately fatal illness. Roughly the size of a common housefly, its brownish-gray appearance belies the deadly secret it harbors. The tsetse fly is a vector, a biological syringe that transmits a disease known as African trypanosomiasis, or more commonly, sleeping sickness. When the fly bites a human or another mammal to feed on its blood, it injects microscopic parasites called trypanosomes into the bloodstream. The initial bite can be painful, but it is the long-term consequences of this injection that are so devastating. The parasite begins to multiply, spreading throughout the body. The first stage of the disease is marked by symptoms that can be easily mistaken for other illnesses: fever, headaches, joint pains, and itching. Lymph nodes may swell to a considerable size. If left undiagnosed, this stage can last for weeks or even months as the parasites continue their relentless proliferation within the blood and lymph systems. The victim grows weaker, their body fighting a silent, losing battle against the microscopic invaders. It is the second stage of the disease that gives it its evocative name. The trypanosomes cross the blood-brain barrier, invading the central nervous system. This is when the neurological symptoms begin to manifest. The victim's personality may change, they become confused, irritable, and suffer from poor coordination. Crucially, their sleep-wake cycle becomes profoundly disrupted. They experience bouts of fatigue and fall asleep during the day while suffering from insomnia at night. Without treatment, the neurological damage becomes progressively worse. The periods of sleep become longer and deeper, eventually leading to a comatose state and then, inevitably, to death. The progression is slow and cruel, a gradual fading of consciousness as the brain is systematically destroyed by the parasites. Modern medicine offers treatments, but they can be complex and toxic and must be administered before the neurological damage becomes irreversible. The tsetse fly has had a profound impact on the development of Africa. Vast areas of fertile land, known as tsetse belts, have been rendered uninhabitable for humans and their livestock, as the flies also transmit a related disease, nagana, which is fatal to cattle. This has shaped settlement patterns, agricultural practices, and economic development for centuries. The fly is not just an insect, it is a powerful force of nature that has dictated the course of human history on an entire continent. We now turn our attention to the Americas, from the southern United States all the way down to the tip of Argentina, to find an insect that delivers its deadly payload under the cloak of darkness. It is known by a deceptively gentle name, the kissing bug. A member of the triatomine bug family, this creature is a nocturnal blood feeder that often lives in the cracks and crevices of poorly constructed homes, emerging at night to feed on its sleeping inhabitants. The name kissing bug comes from its peculiar and honestly unsettling habit of biting humans on the face, often near the lips or eyes where the skin is thinner and blood vessels are close to the surface. The bite itself is usually painless, since the bug's saliva contains an anesthetic, allowing it to feed undisturbed for several minutes. But the danger does not lie in the bite itself, but in what happens immediately afterward. As it feeds, the bug often defecates on the person's skin. The bug's feces can contain a parasite, Trypanosoma cruzi, the causative agent of Chagas disease. The parasites are not injected directly. Instead, when the sleeping person unconsciously scratches the itchy bite, they smear the infected feces into the wound or into the mucous membranes of the eye or mouth. This is how the silent invasion begins. The parasites enter the bloodstream and begin their slow, insidious journey through the body. The initial acute phase of Chagas disease can be mild or even asymptomatic. Some people may experience fever, fatigue, body aches, and swelling at the site of the bite. These symptoms often resolve on their own, leading the victim to believe they have recovered from a minor illness. However, the parasites do not disappear. They enter a chronic, indeterminate phase, hiding within the body's tissues, particularly the heart and digestive muscles, where they can remain dormant for decades. It is this chronic phase that is so treacherous. Years or even decades after the initial infection, roughly a third of those infected will develop severe and life-threatening medical problems. The parasites slowly damage the heart muscle, leading to an enlarged heart, arrhythmias, and eventually congestive heart failure. In other cases, they damage the nerves of the digestive system, causing an enlarged esophagus or colon, leading to severe difficulties with eating and digestion. Chagas disease is often called a silent killer because many people do not know they are infected until the irreversible late-stage complications appear. If caught early, anti-parasitic treatments can be effective, but they are less so once the disease has become chronic. The kissing bug, therefore, represents a profound betrayal, a creature that enters our homes, feeds on us as we sleep, and leaves behind a ticking time bomb that can detonate decades later, with fatal consequences. Our survey now includes a creature that, while technically an arachnid and not an insect, is so infamous for its venomous bite that it must be included in any discussion of deadly small animals. We are, of course, speaking of the black widow spider, a name that evokes images of danger and deadly potency. Found in temperate regions around the world, this spider is easily recognizable by the distinctive bright red hourglass marking on the underside of the female's glossy black abdomen. It is the female black widow that possesses the venom of medical significance. Her venom is a complex neurotoxin, with its most potent component being a protein called latrotoxin. When she bites, usually in self-defense when her web is disturbed, she injects this substance into her victim. The bite itself may feel like a minor pinprick, or it may not be felt at all. The initial symptoms, however, begin to appear within the hour. Latrotoxin works by causing a massive, uncontrolled release of neurotransmitters, particularly acetylcholine from the nerve endings. This biological storm overwhelms the nervous system. The victim experiences severe muscle pain and cramping that starts at the bite site and spreads throughout the body. The large muscle groups of the abdomen and back are often affected, leading to board-like rigidity and excruciating pain that can mimic the symptoms of appendicitis or a heart attack. Other symptoms can include nausea, profuse sweating, tremors, and a sharp rise in blood pressure. The pain can be so intense that it becomes debilitating, lasting for several days if left untreated. While fatalities are now very rare due to the development of an effective antivenom, a bite from a black widow is a serious medical emergency. Before the advent of modern medical care, a significant number of bites did prove fatal, particularly for the very young, the elderly, or those with underlying health conditions. These spiders are shy and reclusive by nature. They are not aggressive hunters of humans. They build their tangled, messy webs in dark, undisturbed places, in woodpiles, under stones, in sheds, garages, and outdoor toilets. Most bites occur accidentally, when a person unknowingly puts a hand or foot into the spider's domain, cornering it and triggering its defensive response. The spider would much rather flee than fight, but when trapped, it will use its most powerful weapon. The reputation of the black widow is built on the sheer potency of its venom, which is said to be 15 times stronger than that of a rattlesnake by volume. Though it injects a much smaller amount, the targeted, neurological effect of the toxin makes it one of the most feared bites in the animal kingdom. It serves as a potent reminder that even a small, reclusive creature can possess a defense mechanism of extraordinary power. We return to South America, specifically to the tropical forests and urban areas of Brazil, to encounter another arachnid whose fearsome reputation is well-earned. This is the Brazilian wandering spider, of the genus Phonutria, which translates to murderous. Unlike the reclusive black widow, this spider does not build a web and wait for prey. As its name suggests, it is an active, nocturnal hunter, wandering the jungle floor in search of its next meal. Its aggressive nature sets it apart. When threatened, the Brazilian wandering spider adopts a characteristic and intimidating defensive posture. It raises its front two pairs of legs high into the air, exposing its reddish-haired fangs and swaying from side to side. It is a clear and unambiguous warning, a final gesture before it launches a powerful and lightning-fast strike. This spider will not hesitate to bite multiple times if it feels cornered. The venom of the Brazilian wandering spider is a complex cocktail of neurotoxins, proteins, and enzymes that is among the most potent of all spiders. The primary neurotoxin, PHTX3, targets the nervous system, causing extreme pain that radiates from the bite site, along with intense sweating and salivation. The venom also has a powerful effect on muscle control, leading to loss of coordination and, in severe cases, paralysis. One of the most unusual and notorious effects of its venom in male victims is priapism, a painful, prolonged, and unwanted erection that can last for many hours. While this has led scientists to study the venom for potential treatments for erectile dysfunction in the context of a venomous bite, it is a deeply distressing symptom that signals a severe envenomation. Without medical treatment, the bite can be fatal. The venom can lead to respiratory paralysis, where the muscles that control breathing cease to function, leading to asphyxiation. The cardiovascular system is also affected, with a dangerous increase in blood pressure and heart rate. Before the development of an effective antivenom in the 1990s, bites from this spider resulted in a significant number of deaths. Today, fatalities are rare, but a bite remains a critical medical emergency requiring immediate hospital care. Because of their wandering nature, these spiders often seek shelter during the day in dark, cool places. This leads to them hiding in houses, inside shoes, in piles of clothing, or famously, in bunches of bananas being prepared for shipment. This has earned them the nickname banana spider and has led to them occasionally being transported to other parts of the world, causing alarm. The Brazilian wandering spider is a potent combination of aggression and toxicity, a hunter whose path is best left uncrossed. We now turn to an insect that is, perhaps the most familiar to all of us, and yet by a staggering margin, it's the deadliest animal on the entire planet. This is the mosquito. It's not the insect itself that kills, not its minor itchy bite. Instead, like the tsetse fly, the mosquito is a master vector, a flying hypodermic needle that transmits a host of devastating diseases. Its global distribution and honestly its insatiable need for blood make it an unparalleled threat to human health. The list of diseases transmitted by mosquitoes is long and, yeah, pretty terrifying. The most infamous is malaria, caused by the Plasmodium parasite. When an infected Anopheles mosquito bites a person, it injects the parasites into the bloodstream. They travel to the liver, multiply, and then invade red blood cells, causing cycles of high fever, chills, and flu-like illness. Malaria kills hundreds of thousands of people every year, the vast majority of them young children in sub-Saharan Africa. But the mosquito's arsenal does not end there. The Aedes aegypti mosquito, recognizable by the white markings on its legs, is a vector for several other major diseases. It transmits dengue fever, known as breakbone fever for the severe joint and muscle pain it causes. In severe cases, dengue can progress to a hemorrhagic fever, leading to internal bleeding and death. This same mosquito also spreads chikungunya, a virus causing debilitating joint pain, and the Zika virus, which can cause severe birth defects like microcephaly if a pregnant woman is infected. Then there's yellow fever, another viral hemorrhagic disease that can cause jaundice, bleeding, and organ failure, and West Nile virus, which can lead to severe neurological disease, including encephalitis and meningitis. From continent to continent, different species of mosquito carry different pathogens, each one a tiny flying vessel of potential death and disease. The combined death toll from mosquito-borne illnesses runs into the hundreds of thousands annually, easily dwarfing that of all other venomous animals combined. The mosquito's life cycle is intrinsically linked to water. Females lay their eggs in or near standing water, from vast swamps to the smallest puddle in a discarded tire. This is where the larvae hatch and develop. This dependency on water makes control efforts incredibly challenging, especially in tropical regions with heavy rainfall. Public health campaigns focus on eliminating breeding sites, using insecticides, and promoting the use of bed nets. The humble mosquito, an insect we often dismiss with a casual swat, is responsible for more human suffering and death than any other creature in the animal kingdom. It has shaped history, stalled armies, and continues to be a primary obstacle to public health and economic prosperity in many parts of the world. Its diminutive size and ubiquitous presence honestly mask its true status as humanity's deadliest foe. Within the vast order of true bugs, Hemiptera, there exists a large and diverse family of predators known as the assassin bugs. There are thousands of species found worldwide, each adapted to hunt other insects. While many are beneficial to humans by controlling pests, some possess a bite that is intensely painful, and others, as we have seen with the kissing bug, can transmit disease. Today we focus on those whose primary weapon is a powerful toxic saliva. The assassin bug is an ambush predator. It lies in wait, often camouflaged amongst foliage, for an unsuspecting insect to pass by. Its key feature is a short, curved, three-segmented proboscis, or beak, which is normally tucked away beneath its head. When it strikes, it does so with incredible speed, plunging this sharp proboscis into its prey's body. It is a brutal and efficient method of hunting. Once the beak has pierced the exoskeleton of its victim, the assassin bug injects a highly potent saliva. This saliva is a cocktail of enzymes that serves two purposes. First, it paralyzes the prey almost instantly, preventing it from escaping or fighting back. Second, and more gruesomely, it begins to liquefy the victim's internal organs. The bug then uses its proboscis like a straw to suck out the resulting nutrient-rich slurry. While these bugs primarily prey on other insects, they will bite humans if they are handled carelessly or feel threatened. The bite is reported to be one of the most painful that can be inflicted by any insect, far more severe than a bee or wasp sting. The pain is immediate, sharp, and can last for several hours, with significant swelling and redness around the bite area. For some, the pain can persist for days. The venom is primarily cytotoxic, meaning it destroys cells. This is what causes the intense pain and localized tissue damage. In very rare cases, a severe allergic reaction or anaphylaxis can occur, making the bite potentially life-threatening for sensitive individuals. While most assassin bugs do not transmit diseases to humans in the way their kissing bug cousins do, the sheer agony of their bite is more than enough to warrant extreme caution. One of the most visually striking members of this family is the wheel bug, named for the cog-like semicircular crest on its thorax. It is one of the largest assassin bugs in North America and is a formidable predator in gardens and fields. Its bite is notoriously painful. These creatures serve as a stark reminder that even within groups of insects we might consider beneficial, there can be species armed with powerful chemical defenses that demand our respect and a hands-off approach. We travel now to the land down under Australia, a continent renowned for its dangerous wildlife. In the suburbs and forests surrounding Sydney lives an arachnid with a fearsome and well-deserved reputation. This is the Sydney funnel web spider, Atrax robustus. Like the black widow, it is not an insect, but its venom is so potent and fast-acting that it must be included in our list of deadly ground dwellers. This is a large, powerful spider with a glossy black carapace and formidable fangs that are strong enough to pierce a human fingernail. They are ground-dwelling, building their characteristic silk-lined, funnel-shaped burrows in cool, moist and sheltered locations. They can be found under rocks, in logs, or in the shrubbery of suburban gardens. The males in particular become wanderers during the warmer months, searching for a mate, and it is this wandering that often brings them into contact with humans. It is the male of the species that is most dangerous. His venom is estimated to be up to 6 times more toxic than the females, a rare trait in the spider world. The key component of the venom is a unique and highly potent neurotoxin called delta-atrikotoxin. This toxin works by holding open the sodium ion channels in the nervous system, causing the nerves to fire continuously and uncontrollably. A bite from a male Sydney funnel web is a life-or-death medical emergency. The onset of symptoms is terrifyingly rapid. Within minutes, the victim experiences tingling around the mouth, twitching of the tongue, profuse salivation, and sweating. This quickly progresses to severe muscle spasms, confusion, and a rapid heart rate. A dangerous increase in blood pressure is followed by a catastrophic drop. Fluid can fill the lungs, making breathing impossible. Before the development of an effective anti-venom in 1981, a bite from a male funnel web was often a death sentence. There are at least 13 recorded human fatalities attributed to this spider. Thanks to the pioneering work of Dr. Struan Sutherland, who developed the anti-venom, there have been no deaths since its introduction. However, treatment must be administered quickly. The speed at which the venom takes effect makes this one of the most dangerous bites in the world. The aggressive nature of the funnel web when threatened adds to its fearsome reputation. Like the Brazilian wandering spider, it will rear up in a defensive posture, displaying its impressive fangs before striking with great force and speed. It has been known to cling on and bite repeatedly. The presence of this spider in a densely populated urban area like Sydney makes it a unique and persistent public health concern, a deadly neighbor that demands constant vigilance. For our final entry, we return to the Americas, though this creature has now spread to many other parts of the world, including Australia and China. We are looking at the red imported fire ant, Solenopsis invicta. A single fire ant is small and seemingly insignificant. The danger of this insect lies not in the individual, but in the colony, not in a single sting, but in a coordinated swarming attack of hundreds or thousands. Fire ants build their nests in open, sunny areas, often creating large, inconspicuous mounds of soil in lawns, parks, and fields. The true colony, a complex network of underground tunnels, is hidden from view. But if this mound is disturbed, even slightly, the response is instantaneous and overwhelming. Thousands of worker ants boil out of the ground in a furious defensive swarm, ready to attack any perceived threat. When a fire ant stings, it first latches on with its powerful mandibles, then arches its body and injects venom through a stinger on its abdomen. It can pivot around its mandible grip, stinging multiple times in a circular pattern. The venom contains alkaloids, with the primary component being solenopsin. This creates a unique and painful sensation, a sharp, intense burning, as if one has been touched by a flame, hence the name fire ant. Within a day or so, the sting site develops into a sterile white pustule, a characteristic sign of a fire ant attack. While a few stings are merely painful for most people, a mass attack can be a serious medical issue. The sheer number of stings can overwhelm the body, but the greatest danger comes from the potential for a severe allergic reaction. The venom contains proteins that can trigger anaphylaxis in sensitized individuals. For a person with a severe fire ant allergy, a mass stinging event can be fatal. The body's immune system overreacts, leading to hives, difficulty breathing, swelling of the throat and tongue, and a rapid drop in blood pressure. Without immediate treatment with epinephrine, the victim can go into shock and die. Tragically, there are numerous cases of people, often the elderly or infirm, who are unable to move away quickly, dying after accidentally disturbing a fire ant mound. The aggressive, invasive nature of the red imported fire ant has made it a significant pest. It outcompetes native ant species, damages crops, and poses a constant threat to humans, pets, and livestock. Its ability to form massive, interconnected supercolonies makes eradication nearly impossible. This tiny ant, when multiplied by the tens of thousands in its colony, becomes a formidable and deadly force of nature, a testament to the power of the collective. We have journeyed across the globe, peering into the hidden lives of some of nature's most formidable small creatures. From the singular, agonizing sting of the bullet ant, to the swarming, fiery assault of the fire ant. From the silent, parasitic threat of the kissing bug to the lightning-fast venom of the funnel web spider, each of these animals, in its own unique way, has perfected a method of defense or predation that commands our attention and, more importantly, our caution. They are not creatures of malice but survivors, armed with extraordinary chemical tools, honed by millions of years of evolution. Their stories should not instill a phobia of the outdoors, but rather a profound respect for the complexity of the ecosystems we share. The world is filled with wonders, but it is not without its dangers. Being aware of the potential risks in a given environment, whether it's checking your shoes in Brazil or being mindful of where you step in the forests of Japan, is the most crucial step in avoiding a painful or even fatal encounter. Knowledge is our greatest defense, allowing us to appreciate these animals from a safe and respectful distance. The natural world is an endless source of fascination, filled with countless stories of survival, adaptation, and power. We have only scratched the surface today. If you have found this journey into the world of deadly insects and arachnids as captivating as I have, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating and informative videos. There's always more to learn, more to discover, and more to respect in the intricate web of life that surrounds us all. Stay curious and stay safe. Stay